Hello, Sarah of SEK Handmade here, and welcome to my Learn to Crochet series. Today, I'll be sharing with you how to get started on your crocheting by working back into a chain. Let's go. Now that you have mastered working a wonderful, consistent chain, or maybe not, and you're just ready to move on. Either is totally fine. Once you've worked a chain a few times, it's time to start working back into that chain so that you can start working the fabric of your crochet project. First, let me say, how you work into the chain is a bit of personal preference, but I'm going to try to persuade you to do it my favorite way. So as you work into the chain, you'll see your chain has two sides. It has this little braided side, and then on the other side are all these little bumps. Now, depending on how consistent your chain is, these little bumps might be a little harder to see. But when I learned to crochet, I learned to work into this braided chain to start off my crochet projects. I want to try to persuade you, though, to twist your chain to the other side and work into these back bumps. I'm going to work some single crochets. This will change depending on the height of your stitch, how many chains you skip. But since I'm working a single crochet, I'm going to skip one chain, and I'm simply going to insert my hook through that back bump. So you can see the braid is on one side and I have my hook all the way through that back bump. Then I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and since I'm single crocheting, I'm going to yarn over and pull through the two loops on my hook. And then I'm just going to repeat down my chains one at a time, being careful not to skip. Keep in mind that the way that those chains are connected is that they're all just one big long loop of yarn. So if you yank on one bump, it might shorten the next bump and make it harder to see. So once you are counting and doing a specific number of chains and stitches, you're going to want to be careful to make sure that you're working into every single back bump, again, by inserting from front to back, yarning over, pulling up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops to complete a single crochet. Now, let me show you why I love working through the back bump of my chain here. And if you are a perfectionist like me, I don't think I'm going to have a hard time convincing you that this is the way to go. So you can see the top of my stitches has these V's. When you work through the back bump, the bottom of your fabric will also have those V's. It makes my little perfectionist heart so happy to have them be consistent on both sides, but also thinking further down to when you're a little more advanced in your crochet, it also makes seaming this edge really easy, and it can allow you to work your fabric in one direction, come back and work through those V's and work your fabric in the other direction, which can be a really fun technique. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, I would love it if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications. And then be sure to check out the rest of my Learn to Crochet playlist. There are lots of tutorials and tips there to help you work through all the beginning stages of learning to crochet. It is always my goal to help you grow confidently in your craft. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy crafting!